Hey there, wellness family, Peter Gordon here. Thank you so very much for clicking on this video, which is titled My 5 Tips on How to Heal from a Divorce or a Painful Breakup. So thanks a bunch again for coming to my channel. Don't forget to subscribe, comment, like, all that good stuff, and hit the notification bell to make sure you get notified when I post new videos. So if this is your first time coming to my channel, thank you. If this is your multiple times coming back, thank you again as well. As I like to tell people with regards to the content that I post, I try to come at the world of mental health through the optic of my lens. That is, I try to talk about it through my experiences. And then it is my hope that you may be able to draw some parallels to your experiences and mine and be able to make profound positive changes in your life or keep doing the positive things that you're currently doing. The other thing as well, this channel is also about my growth or my journey through graduate school into the doctoral program as I work towards becoming a psychologist. So I'm kind of taking you on this journey with me. So what you may find is that I may have an opinion today on one thing and that may change. And so that's the nature of growth, right? So let's get into today's topic. So let's get into the heart of the matter here, which is my 5 key tips on how to heal from a divorce or a painful breakup. Now, real quickly here, number 5 is perhaps the icing on the cake. So be sure to watch the entire video to get to number 5. Not that number 1 through 4 are less important, but they lead into number 5. So be sure to watch the video all the way to the end to get to number 5. And also, this video is also for men. You see, a lot of men think that they're fine when it comes to divorce or breakup. They think they get through it. But in reality, statistically speaking, women do better at handling divorces or breakups than men do. Not entirely sure why. Perhaps women are just more in touch with their emotions, but it's a statistical fact. Women do better. So men, if you don't think you need this video, think again. Be sure to watch it as well. So let's get into these 5 tips here. Number 1. Acknowledge the pain. When you go through a divorce or a breakup, it is a very painful period. Now, I can speak from personal experience because in 2018, I went through a divorce. And I will tell you this, it was the most painful experience I've ever gone through. And this is coming from a man who grew up in Jamaica in poverty, who was homeless at one point, that I can tell you, those experiences in Jamaica did not feel as painful as going through a divorce. It was incredibly painful. And the pain lingered for a while because I tried to ignore it. I tried to pretend as if I was not hurt, when in fact I was really hurt. All right? And I masked the pain by, as a lot of men do, go sleep with a whole bunch of different women. But in reality, the pain never went away. And it didn't go away until I finally acknowledged that I was hurt. And when I acknowledged that I was hurt, I learned one key thing, that the pain was real, right? It was real. The emotions are real. But the key thing I learned when I acknowledged the pain was the emotions did not have power over me. You see? So when you acknowledge the pain, the quicker you acknowledge the pain, the quicker you can work through it, and the quicker you can realize that that pain has no power over you. So number 2, acknowledge your role in the situation. What do I mean by that? I don't trust anyone who tells me that it is a complete fault of the other party why their relationship ended. I don't trust them. And here's why. We all play a role in the demise of our relationship. Yes, our role may be big, and yes, it may be small, but we all play a role. Now, acknowledging your role in the problem is really important because what it does is it starts you on the path towards self-awareness. And through self-awareness, you can compassionately critique and analyze yourself and find out where your faults are. And when you find these faults, you then work on correcting them. And when you correct them, guess what? You become a better person, a stronger person, so that if you choose to go into another relationship, you are a better individual and you don't repeat the same mistakes. That's number 2. So you're still with me here. Great. Number 3, find purpose in your pain. Now, divorces, breakups, they're painful experiences. So when you acknowledge the pain, you're starting to get over it. When you acknowledge your role in the pain, you're working towards self-awareness, right? When you develop self-awareness, you get to the 3rd phase, which is finding purpose in your pain, right? Or to be more specific, finding purpose from your pain. One of the things I hate when people tell me is when they say bad things happen for a reason. I don't like that phrase. I like to say you can find purpose when bad things happen. And the divorce is a great way to find purpose. What happened in my case was that as I became more self-aware, I was able to start to listen into that inner voice. And one of the things it led me to do was to actually to start to write. I wrote a book. Still need to get it kind of edited, but I wrote the book. That was a big thing for me. The other thing I noticed as well was that I had this yearning towards mental health. And I was able to finally kill those voices in my head that said, look, man, you're in your 40s. Why are you going to become a psychologist now? Finding purpose allowed me to say, go down here, voice. I'm going to pursue this dream regardless of my age. And if I hadn't got divorced, I'll be the first to tell you, if I hadn't got divorced, I wouldn't have been able to find this purpose to pursue this career change at this stage in my life. Not that my ex-wife wouldn't have liked it. The reality is I wasn't thinking like that. It was in my pain that I found purpose. So dig around there. There's purpose you can find in that pain, and it's one way that will help you to heal from your divorce or the end of your relationship. Let's get to the next one. So number 4, addressing codependency. What is codependency? Codependency in the most simplest way is essentially where you need your partner to validate you. You need your identities are so intertwined that you need each other for everything. You don't have your own existence, your own identity, if you will. And what I realized that held me back from healing was that I was in a lot of ways unconsciously codependent on my ex-wife. I needed validations on things. She wasn't there anymore, and it was like, what am I going to do? And really it was through self-awareness. It was through finding a purpose that I came to a space where I was able to address the codependency. Because I'm telling you, many of us who've been in long-term relationships or long-term marriages, we don't realize it, but we unconsciously become intertwined, right? And through that intertwinedness, that's not really a word, but you know the deal. Through that intertwinedness, if you will, your identity becomes locked and you develop unconscious codependency. So it's really, really important to address that issue. If you're having difficulty with it, one of the things I would suggest really is going to therapy. It can help you work through it, and it can also help you to develop your own identity. So that's number 4. I'm going to get into the last important one here now. So number 5, the last one, guys. Great, you're with me still. The last one here is this. Do not put a timetable on your healing. Don't put an end date on it, all right? You cannot rush the healing process. When you go through divorce, as I mentioned, it's a painful experience and it can feel like a loss. For me, it felt the same way as when my sister passed away in 2016. It felt like there was a part of me that was gone, that just wasn't coming back, and I wasn't quite sure what to do. So it's a grieving process that you have to go through when you go through like a divorce or a painful breakup. And so don't rush it, because when you rush it, there are important steps that you will miss that can help you to become the best version of yourself. You see, in my case, when I went through the divorce, or when I was going through separation into the divorce, my whole viewpoint was, let me sleep with a whole bunch of women and I'll feel better. It didn't help, I'll tell you that. It was just like, it just felt empty, right? So you can't rush the process. Take your time. What you find is that as you go through the various steps, there's no timetable on it. Some of us will be healed in 6 months. Some of us will be a year. Some of us will be longer. It's okay. The whole thing is to be intentional about the healing process, and don't put a timetable on it, because the healing will come when it needs to come. All right. So I hope this all makes sense, guys. And thank you so much again for watching this video. Don't forget to subscribe, comment, like, all that good stuff. Stay well, family.